Shut up and sit down.
Hello everybody out there, Mr. Kingfisher here, and today I'm going to give you something that you would love to know about before you buy your very first tank. I'm talking about salt water, but it also applies for freshwater aquarium most of the time. Now, there are 5 things that local fish stores will tell you that you need to be aware of. Now, I'm not against local fish stores. I do buy from them, and they are my source of how I grow my tanks, and also a form of advice as well. There are local fish stores that you would have issues with, and for those who are really new, I think it's really advisable for you to learn and to be careful before you commit to this hobby. So one of the things your local fish store will tell you is that you should buy a damsel for a start to see how they survive in a new aquarium. Damsel is not a damsel in distress. They create stress for you. Damsels are dangerous. They are devils. They are known as devils. So these damsel fishes are very aggressive, right? And they are cheap. In Singapore, you can get them about $3, $4. They're very cheap, right? And they come in pretty colors as well, right? And of course, it's right that your local fish store is telling you to get this damsel because you don't want to put an expensive few $100 or $30, $50 worth of fish, and then because your tank is not fully cycled or your tank has issues and then it dies. I would rather you wait patiently for 4 months even before you put your first fish. Not so expensive fish, but not a damsel as well, because if your damsel survives, you either return it back to your local fish store or you have to terminate its life, which I don't think you want to do. And don't go and try to sell to other people or give to other people and get them stressed in their tank just because they are newbies as well. Another thing I want to tell you is that in a local fish store, right, they won't tell you. Now, if you are there watching YouTubes, they would have tell you the cost. Some even give you videos of how cheap it can be, so don't need to worry, don't fret it. I thought too, when I was in my local fish store, the uncle told me, oh, this tank is only $140, and I was like, wow, not bad. $140 is okay for me. And it's nearly a 2-feet tank, and it has a sump, a baby sump, not so big one, right? And yeah, you can start off. And I thought, wow, $140, you know, plus and minus, it could be, you know, maybe another $200, $300 max with additional fishes, you know, sand, all these things. So far, I spent close to 3K already in just a few months. I upgraded my lights, I upgraded with I bought corals, I bought fishes, and fishes died, and I have to recycle, buy everything again, buy medicine, buy this, buy that. Certain things you cannot compromise, like lighting, and so you have to commit to better things. So when you are ready, some people will tell you, no, what Mr. Kingfisher is telling you is that you can survive with no less than $1,000 in this hobby. Yes, stop buying corals. Don't even think about corals then firstly, but after a while you get itchy. You want the next best thing. It's true, you want the next best thing. Firstly, you will say, it's okay, I can just have fishes, and then later you will say, I want to have soft corals, and then you will say, I want to have LPS, and then you will say, I want to have SPS corals, and then you will say, I want a bigger tank, I want a bigger tank, I want a bigger tank, and that's it. I've been there. It's never enough for all of us. Trust me. Especially when we see others having the big ones, others having more beautiful things. we would like to have them. That's the danger in this hobby. Okay? Another thing that your local fish store will tell you, which can be dangerous, is that if you look at a fish and it's something so pretty, and you come and ask your local fish store, is it compatible with this fish that I have? They will probably tell you yes. So you have to be careful. Sometimes they are pretty, they're really pretty, but if you make that choice to put them into your tank, good luck to you, because you are just going to get into trouble. Yeah, you're going to get into trouble. I nearly bought an emperor angel for my tank, and it's less than 2 feet. Firstly, from this size, it was about this size. It's going to grow until this big, because emperor angels will become that huge. He told me what, no, the local fish store, he said you can put one in your tank, but only one. And he's the one who sold me the tank, and he know what is the size of the tank. He said you can put only one. My dear friends, that's not a good advice. So if you have a nano tank, stop thinking about any tanks, any fishes that will grow big, okay? Or anything that's not compatible, right? So you have to have more clarity. Like even fishes, even buying a clownfish, right? You know, you can't buy the same size. You have to buy one big and one small.
They've already started fighting. They grabbed each other by the tail, and then they were going after each other like in the body. The original Big Meanie, and then there's Big Fat Meanie. Oh, oh, oh! You should have seen it a second ago. This is like...
Because the bigger one will evolve into a female. They all start as a male, and then they will form as a female, and they will be compatible because there's one male and one female. But if you buy as both the same size of these clowns, whether designer or normal clowns, they will start fighting each other to see who will become the female, or who to stay as a male. So they will have this fight that's going on and on and on until one wins, and it will be a nasty sight in your tank to see all these fights going on. I bought a designer clown once, and then after a few weeks or months, I put in a normal $3 Ocellaris clown, the basic Nemo type, and the Nemo type was smaller than the actual one, but he was so aggressive. In fact, usually it's the female that's aggressive, but this one was so aggressive, it kept disturbing and beating up my designer clown. I eventually have to bring him back to the local fish stores. Thankfully, I only lost $3. Yeah, so even the small one you put at different time can be aggressive, right? It doesn't really apply to a very, logical, systematic, scientific way to know who is going to get fight or not. So best is to buy a pair. If you're not going to buy a pair, you have to really pray that they do not fight, and of different sizes, of course. Right, so choose your compatibility. Don't need to have two. If you're really a fish fan, but your tank is small, there's going to be a lot of fights. The local fish shop will not tell you it's okay to buy straight when the fishes reach the shop. Now, people want the best fishes, right? The most designer or the most fresh fishes. These are not fresh fishes you buy in your market that you want the most freshest fish. And also these are not like the fresh stuff that you want to ever get, but there is a complication when you buy a fresh fish, live fish, right? Because they travel from far places, whether Sri Lanka or Indonesia or Australia. They came from all these places, so they've been transferred, they've been packed, they put into box, and they travel all the way, from their stores to the airport, and from the airport they have to go through customs, and they jump here, jump there, all the way they are going through, and then eventually they reach to the local country, and then you have to unpack them. Then they continue to put into the place of distribution, and then from the distribution they need to know which one goes to which store, and it goes through a long process, and the fish all keep going do. There's no relaxation, there's stress, right? Until they come to your local fish store, and then you start taking out all the fishes. Which one is the nicest? Which one is this? They go like, who is these guys who are looking at me? That's what they are going through. And then you bring them to a different tank, which is your tank. You buy them on the spot, you bring them back home on the process. They go back home to your home, and then you acclimate them, you put them into your tank. Some even don't acclimate them, you know, just throw them into the tank, right? And you just acclimate them. But now they have to acclimate to a new fish water and new system, and I tell you, they go through so much stress that they decide to die. They can die. So the local fish store will not tell you that. Is to, because they just want to sell, right? That's what they are there for. But these fishes that have not been acclimated in the local fish store properly, and you quickly buy them, they cannot survive at most times, or at it's based on luck lah. A local fish store can actually tell you it's okay to buy, you know, any fish in a tank, even though there are some other sick fishes dying, or some fishes already dead in that tank that they already have, or they look pale and sick, because they will tell you it's okay, salt water, no need to worry, you know, you can buy these fishes, they are practically okay, right? And you think, yeah, maybe they are different from freshwater, so should be okay, you know, even though I see one dying in that tank, or another or there are two other fishes that look very sick, anyway, I'm buying the healthy one, so it's okay. My dear friends, it's dangerous, because you never know that this fish is also infected. It's like COVID-19. You will never know that you are really infected after many days. So please avoid buying fishes. If you see any fish dying or sick in that tank, even though it's most prettiest fish, it looks very happy and active, better not. You are taking a big risk, because when you bring it to your fish tank, you might actually kill other fishes through these fish and infect other fishes. Please don't. I want to thank you so much for listening to me. Keep subscribing, keep telling me what you would like to hear from this channel, and I really hope that you benefit from this as well. With that, thank you so much. I'm Mr. Kingfisher here, and see you in the next video.